Okie dokie. Do we see people? Do people see us?
Hey
Hello,
world,
everybody.
are we live?
Why can't I
Hey
see
world.
comments? Hmm. Oh, okay. There we go. I see your comment. That means okay.
One of us.
One of us. Let's see here. Oh, good. Hi,
Yeah, we got Seapots
everybody.
in there.
Yay. Okie
Yay.
dokie. So we're on Twitch. Everybody see us on YouTube? Maybe?
Are we
Kind of.
live on YouTube at the same time? I didn't
Believe
actually know
so.
that.
Yeah. We
That's cool.
dual it up. Um, can you hear me okay, Sarah?
I can hear
You
you
sound
fine.
okay? Okay,
Hmm.
good. Great. Da, 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 da.
I'm having some delicious matcha this
Ooh,
afternoon, Eileen, which I know you're a fan
I
of.
love matcha. Did you make it yourself?
Yeah, I
With
mean,
the brush and everything? You know, the like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which anything afternoon that has caffeine in it, I'm like, "Ooh, I don't know,
Yeah, yeah,
you're playing
yeah.
with fire, Sarah. But a good matcha sometimes in the afternoon feels really good, and it doesn't make me crazy the way
Yeah.
having a coffee in the afternoon would.
Yeah. 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 It's like I forget, I read somewhere, the difference like percentage wise. And it's pretty yeah, you get a kick, but it's not the
It's
same.
not the
Not a
same. No,
yeah.
no, no. In fact,
Yeah.
sometimes, every so often I'll, because sometimes I like an energy drink or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how much caffeine is in this? Because I'm like, I will always compare it to like a cup of strong coffee. Because a cup of
Mm.
strong coffee is like, that'll wake me up. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, this is like 3 cups of coffee. I'm not, no, no way. No way, Jose. Not
Ooh.
doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And I try to cut myself off of coffee by 3. Sometimes I even give myself a little bit more time. Oh, 5 is fine. So it's 4 o'clock, and
So
it won't
you
hurt
so
me.
you can roll a little bit, but you also stay up later
I know, and that's the
in
problem,
in in
right?
general,
So
right?
and
Yeah.
if I wanna go to bed early, I should be cutting it off at, like, noon, right? But right now, I'm having a
That's
little
my thing.
espresso with almond milk. This is espresso with almond milk. I tend to at least my mind thinks espresso doesn't hit me as hard as, like, coffee, but maybe that's just
I mean,
me.
I think it's all caffeine.
Mhm. I'm trying to tell like, I don't know, I think of it like when you travel or you go out to dinner and you have a little espresso drink at the end with dinner or, with dessert or something like, "Oh, yeah, this won't keep me up," and it generally doesn't, but maybe because I've had a
Oh,
drink or
see, for
something
me,
with that.
for me, like if you and I, let's say we were at a lovely dinner with 6 people,
Yeah.
first course, second course, wonderful, and then they say, and would you like an espresso? You're the person who's like, that sounds good, and I'm
That
like,
sounds
oh
so
my gosh,
good.
that'll ruin everything. I will be in the bathroom in 20 minutes. Like,
I'm like,
can't do
"This
it.
doesn't
Cannot do
bother
it.
me. This sounds so good with my dessert, my little,
It
brownie
sounds
pie."
good to
Yeah.
me, but in reality, nope,
I like, when
can't
I
do
was,
it.
like, in Europe, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, this is what you do. You have the espresso with your meal late." I'm like, "Okay, why not? That doesn't hurt me." Maybe it did. Maybe I was, like, up all night. I don't know. Um, hence the problem, hence the problem. So, I don't know, maybe I can try cutting I just needed it today. I needed it
Well,
today, so
and you don't have to cut anything if it works for you.
yeah.
For me, I'm like, I get up at 6-ish
Mm.
in the
Mhm.
morning. I make a pot of coffee. So I drink
Mm.
kind of a lot of coffee, like
In the
first thing in the morning.
morning. Yeah.
It's a good 3 cups, three
Okay.
cups of coffee. I mean, I'm cutting it with milk,
Yeah.
but when it's done, that's it.
Mhm.
If I were
You're
if
like
I were to have any coffee later in the day, ooh
yeah.
boy.
You're
Mm-mm.
like,
Yep.
"Rinse that, and we're not gonna see it again till the morning." Yeah.
Yeah, sweaty bathroom.
Yeah.
No, no, thank you. No, we have figured out my caffeine
Yeah.
tolerance.
Yeah.
It's It's very clear.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. And yeah,
I
I
know.
think I've built up a tolerance that I probably shouldn't, but
I will though.
it's
I will say that the person at the dinner table who's like, yeah, I'll take an espresso or
mhm.
something after dinner. I like the smell of it.
It
I
smells so
It
good, right?
smells so good. Yeah. I mean, I love the smell in the morning, but it's like I like the smell in general. I
Uh-huh.
like the
Uh-huh.
smell of it. So
Yeah.
it's soothing in a way, but I'm just like, I
You
can't do
know.
it. I
Yeah,
can't
you
do
know how
it.
it's gonna affect you and you wanna
Mm-mm.
go to bed.
Yep.
Yep.
Can't do it.
Alrighty, everybody. We gotta get moving. Sorry we're a little late. That's on me. Little
Well,
guy is moving around.
case of the Mondays. How's little Seven's little toe doing?
I think it's doing better. You wouldn't know that he's hurt other than he's got a bandage and he's parkouring around the house, but
Yeah. So he's
I'm
a
like,
puppy who's
he's a
just sort of like,
puppy.
okay.
Yeah, fractured toe, whatever. Hey, I don't feel it right now. And that's good. He doesn't feel it, but he's, still no walks, no running, no what I mean, he's running in the house because he
Oh,
can't help
poor
himself, but
kid. I feel
he
so
can't
bad for
he can't
him.
do anything that he loves or anything to exhaust his energy.
Yeah.
I noticed that, well, we put a cone on him, for part of the day, especially overnight, so that he doesn't chew his bandage off because he wants to. So one way to keep him calm is to put that cone on, and he goes, "Oh, my life is never the same." And he lays down. Poor guy's almost depressed whenever we put that cone on. But that's seriously the way that I could
It's
keep
the
him
way.
like not
Yeah.
running. And he just goes, "Oh, this thing." But
Um,
life.
before we start, Apple stuff.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better,
Mm,
my dog is 8 years old. And
mm,
everyone always asks me like, "Oh, how old is he?" And I say 8, and they go,
yeah.
"Wow, he has a lot of energy for being 8."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I know, yeah, it just never went away."
Yeah.
But the other day, I went to the gym and I had a trash bag, stuff from
Mm,
like the kitchen that I
mhm.
just didn't bring out with me. It was by the
Mm,
door and I just forgot to take it out.
mm.
When I got home,
Oh.
it was in my bedroom and was torn apart.
Oh. How much? Garbage. Just a ton.
I mean, a full bag of garbage, which is like food and,
Oh
just,
my
like,
god.
there was like some balsamic vinegar that had like drifted off. It was a mess, Eileen. It was a mess.
Oh
I was
my god.
so mad and I didn't see it when I first got in because it was like I went in a different door than and I
Yeah.
walk into the bedroom and I'm like, what the Oh.
Oh
So, I had to
no.
do the whole thing where I bring him in and I'm like, bad dog. And he's just like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm so bad.
So bad, but it was
Just
so
bad
tempting.
dog, and, so we did the whole thing and, whatever. Well, so that was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we went on a long hike. And guess what happened on the hike?
He threw up?
He
No?
did not throw up. He pooped out 3 plastic bags. Yes. Came out of his body.
Oh,
Yeah. The first time I was like, what is this? I was like, oh, shoot.
oh
And then he did it
no.
again. And I was like, really, Otis? Oh, God. Like, are we in bad shape here? And then he did it a third time. Yes.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, at least they went through.
I was about to say everything went through, but like
But
and that
like
was it.
today, we
Yeah.
took a long walk this morning and, everything seems to be in order, but I'm like, dude, what did you do? Like, why did you eat? Why did
Oh
you eat all the plastic
my
bags?
god.
Yes, I know. We're going to the vet for
Yeah.
unrelated things. He has to get a flu shot, but
Okay.
I'm gonna have them just kind of,
Yeah.
take another look type thing.
Wow. The closest that came for us was that Django when she was a pup. We left her and I noticed the bag of rice had a big hole, and it was, on a shelf but reachable for a dog. And then I just kind of rolled up the rice, and then on walks like maybe 24 hours later, or maybe less than that, it came out the other end. And I thought, I didn't even equate it to the rice bag. I was like, does she have maggots? What is happening? Like, yeah, I thought,
Oh,
I didn't
yeah. Right.
understand why
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
so much.
Well,
Sorry,
because
guys. Yeah,
it's gonna
it's
look
gonna look.
weird. Yeah, at first,
And then I
very
realized it
confusing.
was the rice.
Well, and
And
that's what I thought yesterday, where I was like, what whoa. Because when your dog poops and,
mhm.
you're in an urban atmosphere, it's like you have to pick up the poop. So like
Yep,
you're kind of, you're close to, the details of the whole thing. And I was like, why does it look like this?
this
Oh
is
gosh, it's the
yeah.
trash. It's the
Well,
trash.
hopefully, it's all out of his
He felt very
system.
he felt very bad about it.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
sure.
we're gonna, today's a new day.
Yes, today is a
That's
new day.
that's how it goes. I
Reset.
can't continue to be mad. He won't understand anyway. We got up
Yeah.
this morning, had a good walk. We're gonna do the same when we're done with the show today.
Yeah.
Well, after we get back from the vet, but he likes the
Mm.
vet, so
He does. Oh my God. Yeah. I've never had a dog like the vet. Tolerate, but 7 is like probably the worst right now. He can't. He just does
it scares
he's
him.
like, I'm not
Yeah.
going in there. I'm gonna be loud. I'm gonna make it
Well, Otis
uncomfortable
has
for everybody.
had 3 different vets just because we've moved around,
Yeah.
here and there. And the newest vet, which we only went to a couple of weeks ago for the first time, he was nervous,
Yeah.
shedding and kind of,
Mm.
tail tucked in type thing.
Yeah.
But he was like, you could tell that he, like everybody there, he was like, oh, they like me. And
Yeah.
so we ended up leaving on a very good note. But
Good.
yeah, he had a flu shot, but you have to get a second. Is that right? Flu shot, second flu shot? Yeah, he had a bunch of rabies,
Yeah. All the updates. Yeah.
all the stuff. Yeah. So, yes. So we have to go back in and get the second one. I think it is the doggy flu
Mm.
today. So I think we'll be okay. We'll be
Yeah.
okay. But yes, dogs at the vet. I have seen dogs lose their minds at the vet,
Yeah.
and it's scary.
Yeah. They smell. The smell is like, what
The
is that?
smell, yeah,
And their noses are so sensitive, they're
right.
smelling all kinds of things. So,
Well, yeah.
anyway,
Anyway,
good times with our pups.
indeed, indeed.
All right, Sarah, well, you want to count us down whenever you're ready, and then we'll get going and spare everybody any more dog horror
And
stories.
and I mean, who doesn't like a dog talk?
I know,
But
right?
yeah,
Come
but
on,
yes,
guys.
yes, yeah. No, we're here for a reason. I will count myself in. In 3, 2. Hey everybody, welcome back to Apple Vision Show, episode 36. Eileen Rivera,
What?
how the heck are you?
I am well, Sarah. I'm well. And I got to tell you, I am not used to the camera button still. I'm trying to get used to this camera button on the iPhone 16,
Right, for
but
like the quick
I
selfie or whatever.
I forget it's there, and I unlock and I find the camera app. I keep getting reminded by Tom, you have your camera button. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Because I took it off my lock screen purposely so I don't use that anymore to use the camera button. But last night we were able to get out of the house for a little bit, and I was using my camera, and he noticed that I was doing extra steps. He's like, you could just press that button. I'm like, oh man, yeah.
Camera
And then just
button.
yeah, using it and using it to like, zoom in and out. Like it's just not clicking yet. I don't know what it is. It's not clicking yet. And I've had the cam or the phone for, a couple weeks now. So that's my little update with my
So you're
phone.
still in the early days.
Is that too? Am I still in the
I
early days?
guess. I
Okay.
mean, I
All
always
right.
say to people, it's like if something is going to be part of my, I don't know, just day to day, muscle memory type thing,
Yeah.
it needs a week.
A week.
Like even
Okay.
if at first I'm like, I can't,
Yeah.
like after
Yeah.
a week I'm good to go. If
Hmm.
you don't feel like it makes sense to you, the next time we talk, then
Oh,
that's kind of a conversation, I think.
yeah. And I mean, I take pictures of Seven, my dog, every day, so maybe that'll, be the push, since I do, but I do notice I'm like lock screen, unlock camera app. What am I doing? I could do it right now with a lock screen. Can I do it with reduced interruptions? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, wait. No, I don't think so. Oh, no, I can. Okay. I will get used to this, Sarah. What do you think?
So speaking of, so I don't have the iPhone 16 Pro. So I don't have the, the camera button, but I do have, the button that you can assign to a variety of things with
Oh,
the
right.
15.
The action. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. And for a while, I was just sort of like, oh, it's fine to have, sound on or off because that's the default, I think.
Uh huh.
And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then I was like, okay, let's have some fun with this. Let's make it the turn on the spotlight.
Oh,
Like
okay.
ooh, because
That
I
actually, yeah.
walk around with my dog a fair amount. I mean, not like crazy late,
Mm-hmm.
at night, but like once the sun goes down, which is only going to get earlier and earlier, over
Yeah.
the next few months, it's like, I just, Otis poops, right? I got to see it. I want to know if there's a, crack in the sidewalk that I should,
Yeah.
make sure that I don't, trip over type thing.
Yeah.
But it just felt weird. I don't know.
Okay.
It felt weird.
Yeah.
I felt like I wasn't using it enough. I was
Mm,
using it like here and there, but it wasn't really like the button for me. So I went back. I'm
okay.
still trying to like, and I would like to know from anybody who's listening, what is that good trigger action
Yeah.
from that button?
Yeah. What makes
Because
you
you
happy?
can like you can do all sorts of things if you want.
So the other thing I noticed too is that even though I don't use the camera button for what it's intended, like organically, I have to force myself to think about it. I accidentally do touch it when I don't need it. And then the camera
Mm,
turns like my hand, the way I hold my phone will just I don't know, moment I will feel my thumb or part of my hand or my finger, whatever, just accidentally press it and like, oh wait, I don't need that right now. So there's a little bit of like the placement that's not working for
yeah,
me
yeah.
too. Um, but I don't know. Like I said, I just need to reorient myself, with this situation. So I'm excited to have that button, but I'm not. It's not clicking immediately, is what I'm trying to say. And maybe I'm
It
the only one, but it's
it
just
it
like,
feels very much to me like, I mean, I don't know. I've got a Magic Keyboard
mhm.
on my desk right now, and it's got the number pad on the right side. Like I don't, I'm not an accountant, so I
Yeah.
don't use it all that much. But like that is very important to me. I
Ah.
really, really like the number pads.
Mhm. Mhm.
And, you got the function key and, a variety of other things. And that just works for me.
Okay.
And I think that, it kind of goes for smartphones, right? It's like,
Mhm. Mhm.
what's that smart key? Like
Yeah.
what's it for? What are you doing during the day? Doesn't matter to you. A lot of people would say like, I don't need a number pad. Like I'm not
Mhm.
an accountant, you know? And, but like, and I have the numbers, above my keypad. I don't know. This works for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's, I think a lot of this is like very just sort of like personal. This is how I do my day.
Yeah.
And, for example, for me, being like, I really just shouldn't be triggering the light No,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
I know how to do it, just
Yeah.
scroll down, click it. Pretty easy to do otherwise. I should have this hotkey assigned to something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm slow in even just yeah, this is not anything new with Apple Intelligence, but like recently, I do stretching every night. And then I've been adding a little bit of, either weight movement or some Pilates movement, just, a couple reps here and there. But I need 30 seconds and that helps me. And now that I have this wonderful watch, I have now trained myself to be, hey, SIRI, set timer for 30 seconds. And I love that. So, but that's a feature that's, with Siri that's been around, I think. Sorry. I tried not to say her name, but only now it's taken me so many years to finally figure that out. And maybe it's because I have my watch, I don't have my phone on me. When I'm working out, I have my watch and I'm able to do that. And I love that. It's a small little thing, but it just makes a big difference. Cause then I like the pulse 30 seconds over and then I'm like, okay. Then I just click the rewind button and
Wait,
it goes
so
again.
so sorry, but
Yeah.
what is 30 seconds? Like, what are you doing for only 30 seconds?
Oh, I might be doing some leg lifts. I might be doing,
Got it. Like circuit training.
circuit training. Yeah,
Yeah.
I might be holding my posture for, I don't know, my downward dog or whatever,
Yep.
or like, yeah, usually it's just like those kinds of reps. And then, right side, 30 seconds, left side, 30 seconds. Anyway, I don't know. Just maybe having a new watch has just given me more ideas on what to do, even though the feature was already there. It's so little, but like I said, it takes me forever to figure this stuff out sometimes.
Honestly, no, I mean, that stuff is, I don't know. I love it.
Yeah.
Just to be like, gosh, what did I ask SIRI this
Yeah.
morning? It was like something really dumb that I could have looked up, but I'm like, she'll know.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, like just little things like this.
Yeah.
And actually, oh, weirdly enough, speaking of Apple Watches, this morning, so I last night I went to the grocery store, had a bunch of food, made myself a giant feast, a little
Ooh.
too much, went to, like fell asleep early type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, this morning, wake up and I look at my, the first thing I do is be like, what time is it? And I'm like, where's my watch? Where's my watch? I had just charged it and like
Yeah.
forgot to put it back on last night because
Yeah.
I was sort of like over the
Yep.
tracking part of the day because we had been on a hike earlier with my dog, and I like honestly I was like, oh, I don't know what time it is.
You felt exposed, like
Yes,
I need-
naked
yeah.
and afraid. That's how I felt. Honestly, like I was like, I know where my watch, like my watch is not lost. I know where it is. It's in the office.
Yeah.
But I was just like, put this back on. No, we wear our watch at night, Sarah.
The minute you said that, I panicked for you because I know how much you always like love wearing your watch. I was like, wait, you did what? Like you realize why don't you have it? Even I'm like, why don't you have it on? You should always have it on.
Which is such a weird, like I must have been so tired last night to just like trudge down to the bedroom and be like, I don't care, because like I actually do care. First of all, I like sleep track data.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, this is my way of, I get the little double tap at 6:50 a.m. every morning because I tell it that after 6:30 a.m. we're no longer in do not disturb mode. So that means it's being like, get up. It's not an alarm. We're just telling you to stand. It's time to stand.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
you need
your
to-
day has
yeah.
begun. And when I feel that, I'm like, it's 6:50. Okay, I'm up. But when I don't have that, for example, this morning, I was like, on a weekend, I mean, who cares all that much? But on a Monday,
Right.
I was like, this is going to, we're gonna go crazy, like I need my watch on. I need my watch. I love like it's my little security blanket really at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I didn't put it into our rundown, but you just reminded me. I don't even know why I didn't put it in our rundown, but like, did you hear the story about Apple Watch users reporting that the Vital app is detecting illness before symptoms appear? Have you heard that? I'm like,
No,
what? What?
no.
Supposedly,
Symptoms of what?
let's see here. The app, I'm just going to read this for everybody, so I'm not going to get this wrong. But ability to detect potential illness days before symptoms manifest. According to recent reports on Reddit, these are, users. The Apple Watch app analyzes key metrics, blah, 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 providing early warnings of impending sickness. Let's see. Okay, this is the Reddit user. I started using Vitals when it first came out on the beta, and since then I've gotten sick about twice. Both times it knew a couple days in advance, and I hadn't felt anything wrong. Okay, there's no details here, so sorry. Let's see. Like woke up feeling off, but apparently and got sick, but let me see here. Vitals app. Da, 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 da. It's like detecting, your heart rate, respiratory rate, temperature, sleep duration. Um, I guess it was giving them some alerts that, your vitals are a little bit higher than
Yeah, yeah,
previous.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then,
it's sort of it's
yeah.
sort of like when I get the occasional, thankfully, where it's like your heart rate seems to be high, even though you haven't been working out. Everything
Mm-hmm.
okay? My
Mm-hmm.
Apple Watch, like when I do that, sometimes I'm like, weird. I read an email that like triggered me, or like there are certain reasons where
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, I guess my heart rate is a little high, and then other times where I'm like, I don't know, I'm literally just chilling. I don't
Yeah.
know what that's going on. Like I think that there are some metrics where, I mean, they're all helpful. They're all
Mm-hmm.
helpful, at least for, between you and the company,
Mm-hmm.
the company in this case being Apple, to be like, oh, well, yeah, like you gave me like a weird heart rate thing and I was like as calm as can be. That's something that the company can use to make the data work better for people in the future. But if, it's something that, maybe keeps happening and something that I share with my doctor, then that would be something that could again potentially help me
Mm-hmm.
figure out if there's something going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's an aid and it's not, I don't know that it's like, and I don't think Apple even says we're going to give you the diagnosis, but you know,
No, they're very careful to not do that,
right.
right?
Yeah.
They're the company is sort of like, listen, you share as much data as you want with us. We would like you to share as much data as you want with us because
Yeah.
it helps us, but that's up to you. But we are not your doctor.
Right.
If I, even if I, well, if I take a fall and my Apple Watch notes that I've taken a fall, then sure, it can like help me call 911 type thing. But
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, as far as health data goes, it always is like, this is something to share with your medical health team. We are just trying to help. We are not representing your medical health team, and certainly not trying to, to override them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Some people think it's helpful and it came up recently, so it's just another way that, maybe can help you be aware of like your own body and how
Yeah.
you're feeling instead of ignoring it. Maybe you're ignoring it, but like, hey, just FYI, this vital was a little higher today and it's been rising. And you know what? If that helps you, I don't know, just take a
Yeah. I
break from
mean,
salty foods or whatever, you know?
Totally. I mean, even just kind of having a little like, like a little pat on the shoulder, like, hey, everything good? Because this is what, might be going
Yeah.
on. Again, with my high heart rate thing, which
Yeah.
is, not like something that, this, I don't have heart problems, but, I've seen that before and I've been like, you know what? I did, again, read that email that like was, kind of got me a little fired up. It's good to know that this
Yeah.
sort of thing like physiologically affects me.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like, you have the conversation, people saying like, well, you got to get off the internet, 2 hours before bed, you don't want to get, all riled up about, this or that. It's like, there is something to that. And we're all different for sure.
Right.
But I definitely feel like, yeah, like say the wrong thing on Twitter and I'm going to just be like, all right.
I know. Sometimes I read Twitter. I'm like, why do I read this in the morning? Why do I do this?
I
before
know, I know.
I don't know why.
I know. Well, and it's called X now, Eileen. But
Yeah, I know. I
it
refuse
used
to
be-
call it that, but yeah, no.
I know. Isn't it funny? I thought about this over the weekend because, Saturday woke up early, but like I was sort of like, I got some chores to do. I got to vacuum, got to go to the gym, got to, go to the grocery store. But like, it's kind of like my day to play. Just all things me. And during the week, that's few and far between. And it used to be that when I had a day like that, I'd just be like, open up Twitter, let's have some fun, and like, not even that I was like tweeting something crazy, just like, I followed all these people who were, doing their thing. And I learned a lot about the world because, I had my, my news Twitter type thing. And it just isn't that for me anymore. Now, not to say that I don't still want that feeling. I just don't have that one place that I go to. And it used to be Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you? So you just kind of.
Well,
I mean, when
it's
you open
still,
up-
it's still X to a certain point. It's Threads. It's
Oh, Threads.
Instagram.
Okay.
It's TikTok.
Yeah.
And I've been like very much dragging my feet about like, you don't get your news from TikTok. And people are like, yeah, you do. So I'm like, all right, let's, give this a shot. And you have to be really vigilant, I think, about, okay, well, what's your source? Where did it come from?
Right.
Somebody says something, where's that information originating from?
Yeah.
And sometimes people are like, from the TikTok. And I'm like, no, that's not.
But where
you
did
don't-
that
No, right.
Where
like
did that
you can't,
person get it? Yeah.
because then I could just say anything I want, and people say, "Oh yeah, Sarah said it. Must be true." Like, no, we have to go a couple steps back. But
Yeah.
more and more, I have to come to terms with the fact that there's like Google News and Tech Meme, things that tools that I use every day, and that I rely on, and I trust, but there are all these other news sources that aren't necessarily wrong. Sometimes they're wrong. Not necessarily wrong though, that are
Right.
just coming in a weird way where I'm like, TikTok? No. Like, you're getting your news off TikTok, and people are like, yeah, that's how everybody gets news now. Which actually weirdly reminds me of, and I may have talked about this on the show before. When the first time I went to China, to Beijing, was in 2006. And I was staying with a guy who, like I met on Craigslist, who, had like an extra room type thing.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, and he was American. So he, was kind of, we became friends. But he had been in Beijing for like a couple of years teaching English. And at the time, I was sort of like, communist country, and he's like, it's like sort of communist, but like, is it really? And I'm like, I don't know, is it? I mean, you live here. And he was like, yeah, we just watch all our news on YouTube. And I was like, what do you mean you watch all your news on YouTube? Because at the time, 2006, YouTube was not YouTube
Yeah.
of today.
Yeah,
YouTube
I mean,
was
'cause you
like, like skateboard videos and stuff.
Yep.
Or I was like, what? No. news? And he was like, oh no, it's fine. Yeah, you get everything on YouTube if you want to find it. And now, if somebody said that, I'd be like, oh, of course. But
Yeah,
at the
sure.
time, again, this is what, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what? How would you get your news on TikTok? So that's me again today.
Well, everything changes and moves at lightning speed. So,
It does. Yeah.
I am not surprised that people are getting their news from TikTok. I don't think I do yet, but I'm probably not far behind.
I
Some
think
of it
so.
is too emotionally charged because it's video. Some of it's too emotionally charged for me when they're very like. A lot of them are not very
Yeah.
neutral. Let's say that.
And for everybody being like, isn't this about Apple? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people use TikTok on Apple devices. So yes,
Right.
I think we're in the clear here. What I do find, Eileen, that and again, like, sure, there's tons of stuff being shared
Mhm.
online that's either like not relevant to your interests, full on just not real,
Mhm.
and misinformation type stuff, or just kind of, I don't know, just we're just sort of like, okay, but silly dancing, like,
Yeah.
I don't have time for
Mhm.
this.
Mhm.
But I think that the TikToks, and I put this in, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram
Mhm. Reels
stories,
or
yeah,
stories. Yeah.
Reels, stories. They're all the sort of same thing where it's like, if you have a trusted source that's like, I know you're not going to watch this 30-minute video,
Mhm.
about, this news item about the border or whatever it might be. But you can watch sort of like a, CapCut version of this
Yeah.
on our, TikTok channel. I think that's why a lot of news organizations are putting so much time and effort into their social media teams.
Yeah. Because that's where everybody's going. Short attention spans.
Yeah.
Got to get them somewhere. Maybe they'll convert, to long form, but maybe
And
not.
maybe
So,
not,
yeah. And
and
that's
like, if,
okay.
if you're never going to watch that 30-minute show because that's just not how you live your life, then
Mhm.
we all have to adapt.
Yeah.
We being, people who work in content creation.
Right. It's a lot. It's a lot of places to put your content. Let's just say that.
It is. It is. Well, as we think about a lot, perhaps we could take just the slightest little break.
All right.
Eileen, that was a wonderful nap. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody listening right now.
Yeah. Okay. So we're kind of in a funny Apple lull,
Yeah.
which we actually talked about this last week, but like,
Yeah.
it's even more of a lull because we know we're gonna get the Mac stuff. At least the announcement that there's going to be an announcement. Any day now, any day. What we don't know for sure, but what comes from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, which is, sort of like, the best Apple, the best Apple
Source.
rumor source,
Rumors.
yes, out there, is that we will be getting iOS 18.1, potentially. Again, this is all, not something that the company has told us yet, but October 28th, meaning that if you're an iPhone 16 user, you can finally start using some of that Apple Intelligence that everybody supposedly was very, very bummed out about, that went ahead and got the iPhone 16 Pro and didn't have Apple Intelligence, or I guess the entire line altogether. Eileen, what do you think about this?
I think welcome to the party. And I think that you will be, if you're not using it already, it's like we've talked about in the past, it's incremental. updates. I think the further along, the projected like 18.2, 18.4 updates of like the actual real Siri digital assistant, that's the stuff that's people are going to be really wowed with. Actual real chat GPT integration, even though the app, you could download the app, but having it through SIRI, I think is good. So this first step is sort of a necessary to get to the stuff that's really going to be enriching and I think more talked about, I guess. But there's stuff on there already that I think is already interesting. Sarah, I don't know if how have you been noticing your notification summaries? I don't know if you have a lot of notifications. I have too many notifications, but
I have
I
so
kind of
many
like
that I
them.
don't even read them.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Well,
it's like I actually don't use notifications in a way
some of
that's like
the
helpful to me.
some of the summaries have been posted online are kind of funny. Like for instance, this guy this guy goes on a few dates with a girl, then gets a series of iMessage texts, but reads the summary first, and the summary said, "Enjoyed hanging out, but not yet developed romantic feelings." that was the that was the summary. So he doesn't have to read the text, or if he really
How
wants
is that
to.
the sound? Like what? Like what? Oh man. Oh, that's
Based
a
on she
toughie.
probably like I'm kind of the same where I'm like I
It
have a
was
lot of
like it was
lines.
like I'm getting the vibe, so let me
Yeah,
summarize this for you, but
yeah,
still.
intelligence summarized it like that. So
Yeah.
if you're missing out on summarizations, you could be done with your relationship with just the notification, and then you can just swipe and never call that person
100%. I'm
again,
like, you
right?
didn't have fun? Okay. Bye. See you never.
Well, here's another one. It's even worse. It's like this person has their, I guess, their work notif summary, or it's their notifications for work email or text. Multiple VPN connection issues. Team members laid off. Like done. Like you read that, you're like, oh my god, that's your summary. That's the top
Right, like
of
am
the
I
notification.
next?
Oh,
My
I mean, I
God.
guess you get to know right away instead of like finding out email 8 or like text, your fourth text message. You're
Well,
like right there, everything's there.
and so the Apple Intelligence, I really haven't, I don't know, this hasn't affected me too much besides just sort of, just kind of observing. But when it comes to, I keep trying to, for my work for Daily Tech Headlines, Daily Tech News
Mhm.
Show, Have Such a Good Day, and even here, Apple Vision Show, I keep trying to be like, can, some AI help me? Can this make it better?
Mhm.
And there are, for now, the answer is not really.
Mm.
I get the tool. I understand how it like is supposed to help you, but like Daily Tech Headlines is the only place where I'm like, it's a blurb. I'm going to say the blurb. Can this like at least give me like the first blurb and then I make the blurb better?
Mhm.
And many times I read the blurb and I'm just like, no, that is not right at all.
That wasn't
That
what
is
you
just
meant. Yeah.
like it's just like because I'll say I'll put in like a URL and I'll be like summarize this in 4 sentences in the tone of Sarah Lane from
Mm.
Daily Tech News. Like you can try to make it sound as much like you as possible, but like the information that gets spit back out at me, I'm like that's not right.
Mm.
Like did you even read the
And it's
article?
not learning. It's not learning at all.
I mean,
If you
I'm
continue
sure
to,
there's plenty of learning going on, but
yeah.
for what for as anything that we do online, where we're talking about news items and we're being very specific about specific things. It's like
Mhm.
you just can't just be like, I kind of got it right. It's like no, you have to get it like completely
You
right.
have to get it completely right.
You have to
It
get it
still needs
completely
you.
right. And
Yeah.
like, where's the source? And, there's all sorts of stuff where I'm just like, yeah, we're not there yet. We're just not there yet.
Well, and maybe that's what the point of like the later updates, like 18 point. It'll get to that point where if you're using it lightly, with like um if you're just using it to begin with, and then later on, hopefully these later updates will make it smarter so that it will give you and spit it out. It's, I guess it's like with anything, you gotta have patience with it. It'll eventually work.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
know, like, I asked my doctor, I was like, do you use it for anything? Because she said she uses AI to help write her speeches for her kids' soccer matches. I don't know, she did motivational speeches. And then I said, yeah. And she said it really helps her for that.
And listen, I am definitely not saying that this is not good tech for a lot of situations. I just, I feel like, yeah, I have a lot of friends who are like, oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I summarize an email, or I write
Punches
something
it
to
up.
somebody and do a little spell check before I send it off. I do this all in the car, and I'm just like, really?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to figure out that, like,
For you. Yeah.
yeah,
That holy grail.
that way to make it work for us. Okay, so going back to iOS 18.1, we've got the features that we talked about above. Then December is the target date for iOS 18.2. That includes Chat GPT support, Genmoji, which will be fun or weird. Nobody
Or
knows
weird.
yet.
Scary.
I think fun and weird, probably. Let's call it fun weird.
Yeah.
Image Playground as well. And then in early 2025, that's iOS 18.3 or 18.4. We don't really totally know yet,
Yeah.
with a new Siri SIRI
Yeah.
rollout, which is kind of, that's the target date for everything that's really Apple Intelligence.
Exactly.
This
Yeah.
is a slow roll. This
Yeah.
is a slow roll.
Yeah. So I think, if you're not patient, maybe you'd move on to a different phone, a different operating system. But if you are patient, or if you just don't care, it'll just show up on your phone. And then, hey, we're almost to 2025, to be honest with you. Like, this is October.
Yeah.
By the way, last week I
Yes,
made
it
a joke
is.
about Mariah Carey getting ready for Christmas. But then I saw her on TikTok. She was on a plane, and somebody said, Mariah, are you ready to go to the North Pole? And she posted this on October 1st. She's like, not yet. And she looked at the camera. She's like, they're always rushing me. They're rushing me.
I
So
feel like she did this last year.
did she? Because she will start November
I
1st.
f-
As soon
I-
as Halloween's over,
Yeah.
it's
I
Mariah.
feel like this is like
Yeah.
a Mariah joke, because I don't feel like I saw that over this weekend, but I'm like, I've seen that. I've
Have
seen
you
the
seen it
joke
already? Okay.
Or
I'm
some
just
sort of
remembering it now.
yeah, like version of like, yeah, like, you want to go to Santa's castle? She's like, not yet.
Gotta wait. Gotta respect the Halloween. And then after Halloween, we're going.
I got to give it up to everybody who wants to jump on their favorite season extremely early. You do you, but come on, tis the season for, like, we've got Halloween. Okay, Halloween is not even happening tomorrow. We've got the better part of a month. Then we've got Thanksgiving, at least in the U.S.,
I know.
right? Or at least like a buildup of fall and winter and sweaters and applesauce. And then it's like, okay, and then you've got, the holiday season, which is,
Yeah.
kind of the big one. And it's like, I don't know. I think everyone is just, by the end of summer, Eileen, everyone is just like, let's do it.
I know.
Let's do it.
something.
Right?
I feel like everybody wanted Halloween to start in August, right? And then,
Right, yeah,
by the time
right.
October rolls, we're like,
I mean,
done
and
with
I
it.
feel like, and it's a little different because we live in a place where it's not like crazy cold, January, February, but it is
Yeah.
in many places, where people sort of go like, "Ooh, you're just sort of trudging through till Valentine's Day," and it's like, why don't we just like move Thanksgiving to like January 30th? Wouldn't that be nice? Because then you could have Halloween for a while.
Yes.
And then you do holiday, like actual, Christmas type stuff. And then, ooh, fun
Yeah.
turkey. And then by the time we're all, we wake up from, that turducken situation, it's spring.
Yeah. I like it. Let's move Thanksgiving. I
Let's
mean,
do it.
we're thankful
Let's
all
do
the
it.
time, but
Yeah.
it kind of gets lost. I feel bad for it in November. It kind of you kind of feel like you have to do it, but your mind is already on Christmas because you've been so programmed by everybody to just like start deck the halling. You know what I mean?
Oh
Instead of
yeah.
give thanks. We're like, what? Oh, isn't it all this? It's like they lump it all in one. So really, Thanksgiving is just like a holiday in the Christmas season.
It's the
You know?
Christmas, yeah. It all gets lumped together. Like it doesn't really get its due, its
Yeah,
proper
it's not
due.
independent. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's
Yeah.
sort of like, well, it's Christmas. There used to be, I remember, and probably just because, growing up with my parents, but it used to be that we knew lots of people who, day after Thanksgiving, that's when you get the Christmas tree. And we're talking real Christmas
yeah.
trees. You
Yeah.
like go, chop it
Cut it,
down,
go to the farm, yeah.
the whole thing. And we were like, day after Thanksgiving, that's insane. It's not even December 1st. And now I'm like, do it. Just do it. You know you want to. Just do it.
I think he still does this, but our friend Ron Richards from Android Central.
Christmas trees.
Yeah, the Christmas trees. He always posts when Christmas trees are thrown out of the house, how early and how late, because some of them are late, like almost February or maybe February.
Oh,
and it's just
well
funny.
past
Yeah.
February. Well,
It just-
like
he's been
to
doing
the
this for
point where it's
years.
like this is like a real, it's
Yeah.
a fire hazard at this point.
It's like, why don't you just keep it in your house and just use it as a plant at this
Kindling
point?
or
yeah,
who
I don't
even knows?
know. But yeah,
There was one year where I know we're getting real off the rails now, but tis the season. But there was one year I was in college. I lived with a few roommates. We had a tree, and it wasn't even really decorated. It was very cobbled together. But I mean, that tree just sat in the living room January, February. Was not being watered, was not, it wasn't, it was a bad situation.
Yeah.
And we all, I kept saying, like, you guys, we got to get rid of this tree. Like, who's going to do it? Like, I'm the only girl in the house, not me. And we finally threw it out the window.
just chucked it out the window.
We
Oh
were
my
on the
God.
3rd floor.
Oh,
Nobody was hurt. We looked ahead of time.
Okay,
But
okay.
we just threw it out the window. And yeah, so yeah. Don't do that. Don't be like us. Figure out what's going on with your tree. I am actually, I don't know. I know the beautiful live tree and the way it smells and all of that is very important to some people. I'm kind of over that at this point in my life. I am just put a little tree that and you can add some essential oils to make it smell like a pine.
that's true. You could, yeah.
Yeah,
We have the fake
add
tree.
add a little light and just call it a day.
Yeah.
I
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll add it. We have a fake one. So
Yeah, that's
for
what
a
I mean.
while, we did the fresh tree, and then after a while we're like, this I don't know, it's nice, but then it's all messy. The needles fall down, and it's not really good for the dogs.
Yeah, and you have to
you know?
water it, and yeah.
All that stuff. So now we just have the fake tree, and it's fine. I will do that. I will do essential oil. It's better, and it'll be aroma of the house.
Yeah, my mom was the first one who ever turned me on to this. Like they look like little kind of like I don't know
diffusers or yeah.
And but I didn't see them, and I walked into her house and I was like, you got a real tree this year? And she's like, no, I didn't. It's just look at
It
these.
made the house
Yeah,
smell,
it's just incense.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, no, but it that like it feels
Yeah.
good. It smells good, feels good, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I know we got a little off the rails because Eileen and I are obviously very excited about not only Halloween, Thanksgiving, but also Christmas and overall holiday seasons. Um, but yeah. So that's what happens sometimes on
Yeah.
these shows. You know,
Sometimes, you know.
you just you let it go where it wants to go. Just a reminder, we want your feedback and we love your feedback. Keep it coming. Feedback at applevisionshow.com.
Yes. I guess we should just sign off. Thanks for being there.
I guess we
We have
will
a couple other stories, but I'm like, they're not that great, you guys. They're not
Yeah.
that great.
You want to hear
There's
more
like-
about like the tree that fell on me one year? Because I got that story. No, I'm just kidding. We thank you for being with us for episode 36 of Apple Vision Show. We'll be back keeping it weird next week, and who knows, we might have an announcement about new Macs between now and then. Talk to you next week.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have
Bye.
a good week. Like, truthfully, our other Apple stories guys who are here on the live stream, it's like, yeah, you know, they're
Kind of a slow week.
kind of slow. Like,
Kind of a
we had
slow
other
week. I
stuff.
mean, why not talk about trees?
Yeah, you're gonna get
Yeah.
one soon, right? I mean, I guess we could have asked everybody their Halloween costume if they're gonna. I don't really do Halloween, so
I don't really do Halloween either, but some of my neighbors do. Boy, are they going all out.
Yeah.
Like there's this one neighborhood where I'm like, oh, that's the place where all the kids are going to trick or treat, because I have not been in my apartment, for a year yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wonder what Halloween will be like. I mean,
Ooh, yeah.
somebody could ring my doorbell. And I could either, but like I'm on the second floor, so like I could like ignore that, like, or go down, and like I could either not be here or ignore them or be, part of it. And I'm like, well, there are a lot of kids in my neighborhood. I mean,
You could put a
you
bucket
know.
out, and then somebody might just take them all. That's what happened with us one time.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we get Amazon packages stolen all the time. It's like you put food of any kind out on the stoop, it's gone.
It's gonzo.
Those kids
Yeah.
aren't gonna come up and like take a couple. No, somebody's gonna take it. But yeah, we'll see. But there is a neighborhood really close to me that's very much more kind of, I don't know, neighborhoody, whatever that means. Rich people, pretty much. But yeah, that whole neighborhood is like, they are decked out for Halloween. So I was like, yeah, this is where you take your kids. Like you get like good Halloween candy. Yeah. Yeah.
Woo! Well, I hope they do get a lot of candy. I'm going to end the stream, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for your patience. Thank you. Sorry we were late, but we'll be back next week. Bye, everybody in the chat.
Bye, chatters. Thanks for hanging with us live. See you later. Scent of tree.